Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Iron Bark Podcast, and I am your host, Epion. And today we're going to talk about a rabbit. It's a striped rabbit. It's a beautiful rabbit. It's one of the nicest rabbits I've ever seen, and believe me, I've seen a lot of rabbits. It's a Sumatran Striped Rabbit. It's rarely ever seen. There's video footage of it. There's been photos of it before. There's been periodic sightings since 1978 up until now, here and there. Different people, trail cams, this and that, yada, yada, yada. There's a bit of buzz about it in the news recently, so I thought, I'd come on the podcast here. I come on the podder here. I do a little bit of a talk. I do a little bit of a chat for everyone at home listening. Excuse me. This isn't fake news. We saw the rabbit. It's a beautiful rabbit. Anyway, yeah. It's cool when we see these kind of elusive species that are incredibly hard to find. When I was reading up about it, I came across kind of a funny story. Apparently, there was a flash flood in the area, and some guy opportunistically came across it and was like, I am going to sell it. And he tried selling it on Facebook. Authorities caught wind of it. They found it. They returned it back to the wild. That's kind of a fucking funny story. I don't care. That's a funny, like some guy's like, oh yeah, there's a rare, I'm going to put it up on Facebook and get myself a nice little shilling of money. Like, holy crap, man. Funny. That's funny as fuck. I'm glad the rabbit's okay and it's back in the wilderness. Hopefully making a bunch of babies. Making more of a population out there. What else can I talk about? This weekend, where was I? I was up in Jasper National Park. I was going up there and I took a look-a-rooney at the damage that has been done. There's been a lot of damage. There's been an extensive amount of damage. It's an unbelievable amount of damage. It's horrible what happened up there. I couldn't believe it. I looked around. Everything was destroyed. Complete and utter obliteration. I haven't seen anything like this in my life. I couldn't believe it. But the people of Jasper, I tell you, the people of Jasper, they're great people. They're the best people I've ever met. I walked in there. I've never seen people so beautiful in all my life. I couldn't believe. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, from basically Honeymoon Lake upwards, it's like scorched earth from like the mountains to the valleys. It's not good. You can see all the damage from the highway, more or less, and you can keep on driving. A little bit of the town got touched. A gas station across from the gas station. It's a pit now. Like they literally gutted the place. It's the foundation of the buildings. The scrap metal's been put into a pile. It's a lot of damage. It's unbelievable amount of. Okay, I gotta stop. I can't help myself. I have to stop that. I need to stop that immediately. But yeah, I took a few pictures. I threw those up on a Instagram story. So if you were looking at my Instagram story this weekend, you would have saw those. I don't got a whole lot other new. Oh, I could talk about spiders. You want to hear some stories about spiders? You want to hear some stories about spiders, kids? You want to talk about spiders? Well, I got some stories about spiders. So there's a Orb Weaver spider. This was like a paper that was published in Nature, I think, or some other publisher. I can't remember. It was maybe it was just a research study. I don't know. Anyway, the Orb Weaver spider, it was, I guess, documented capturing fireflies, putting them in its web, and somehow tricking them, in, I guess, these male fireflies into signaling. Like, so they have like a blinking pattern, and the males blink a certain way and the females blink a certain way, and this is for like mating and attracting mates type of thing. So when it's in the web, the spider somehow, maybe it's just because of when it's in like peril, it blinks the same as a female. I don't know. Anyway, it starts blinking like a female. So then it attracts more males to the web and attracts more male fireflies. So it's basically kind of like using a tool in a way, kind of. It's interesting. Anyway, I put a post about this up on X. And after I put this post up on X, I came home later that day and I look in my back window and there's a giant spider. And it kind of looks Orb Weaver-like, but I don't think we have Orb Weavers where I'm at. But anyway, I struck a deal with this spider. I said, you get to live on my window outside as long as you stay outside. And I'll leave the back porch light on for you. And you can get some bugs. And this is the deal we're going to have. I named her Charlotte. She's a beautiful spider. I've never seen such a beautiful spider. I looked at the patterns on her. She's got little like horns on her rear end. I said, "You're magnificent. You're so grotesque looking. You're excellent specimen." Anyway, got my porch light on right now, actually. So that's a little story about spiders. I don't think I have much else to talk to you guys about. What can I talk to you about? I saw an elk. I saw an elk walking through the burnt forest. Kind of a sign of hope, because he was quite the specimen. He was a beautiful elk. He was a big elk. He was giant. He had massive antlers, and he was looking healthy. Like the females, I don't know how they'd be able to resist. The other males, I don't know if they would ever even stand a chance against this guy. He's quite the specimen. But yeah, anyway, I have a video of it. I will get to posting it this Wednesday, I think. I hope. I want to post it on a Wednesday. I want to start doing like Wildlife Wednesdays. One video on Wednesdays because it starts with a W and wildlife starts with a W. And I'll just consistently post once a week. Once a week you get the Wildlife Wednesday. It's a cup of wildlife in the big time. Anyway, folks, a couple of hikes I want to do in the future. I think it's called the Aloha Trail. I want to give that a little gander. I want to give that a little walkabout. I want to get out there and hike. Yeah, but I don't know. It's like I just can never get up early enough to really get out there on time. I just can't motivate myself. I need to book a campground nearby. I need to sleep the night, get up in the morning and go. But I just don't have the motivation lately. I just can't do it. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. Yeah. I think that's about all I got for you guys. I want to give you like a little bit of a 10-minute episode, but I don't think I got it in me. What can I talk about? Anything new going on my socials? Not really. Par for the course, to be honest. I'm thinking it's about par for the cars. 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 The moon. Did I talk about the super blue moon last time? So there was a super duper blue moon. You only see it once in a blue moon. So what a blue moon is? A blue moon is a moon that comes, basically you're only supposed to get a full moon once a month. Because it's like, the way the numbers fall is you can have it in twice a month. I think even maybe sometimes 3 times a month. If it's a long month, then it's what. Anyway, I digress. You get a blue moon. They call it a blue moon. It doesn't actually look blue. They just call it a blue moon. There's probably some etymology behind it that I'm too lazy to look up, but you're going to look it up right now. You're going to go on your phone. You're going to say, why did they call it a blue moon? Why did they call it that? It doesn't make any sense. Why did they call it that? So I looked it up and I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so a blue moon is that. Now a super moon, okay, there's two different, okay, so the moon, it rotates around the earth, right? Or it goes around the earth. Okay, well, it's not a direct circular path. It's kind of like an elongated oval. And in this oval shape, imagine the earth is in it, but the earth isn't in the center of it. It's more to one side than the other. So when the moon is on the closest side of that rotation around the earth, it looks bigger. It looks badder. It looks meaner. It looks like you don't want to mess with this dude. So it's just right there. And it's like what, I don't know, 8 to 12% bigger, something like that. It looks brighter. So it's cool that we got 2 things. And I forget what they're called. What are they called? Like, whatever. It don't matter. Okay, I gotta look it up. I'm gonna look it up for you guys. Epigee. What's it called? Like epigee. What are the moons? What would you call that? Rotation positions? I think it's called, what's it called? Like epigee? Moon. That didn't even work. Moon. Apogee? Yeah, apogee. So perigee is the other one. That's it. The point in the moon's orbit where it is farthest away from the sun is apogee. It's called apogee, while its closest approach is known as perigee. So what we just had was a blue moon in perigee. That's why it was a super moon. Basically, a super moon is just a moon in perigee. It might even be cooler or more normal to call it a moon in perigee. So, yeah. Cool to know. Good to know. Ba. I think I talked about the supermoon last time, but who cares? You're getting supermoon twice. Supermoon twice. And probably last time I sounded like I knew more what I was talking about than this time. All right, that's it. That's the show. That's the Iron Bark podcast. Everyone follow me on X. It's going to be sick. Check it out.